Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, September 22nd, and time for today's edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Garrett Willis.
And I'm Ellie Davis. On today's show, you'll see how a few Homestead students got the chance to interview musicians on our school's radio station over summer break.
Homestead's after-school club, the Spanish Club, is profiled, and you'll see what takes place at a typical gathering after school.
You'll learn about FCCLA, a club that helps make leaders at both Homestead and our community.
And I'll bring you my 2-minute drill with a look at our boys' cross-country team, and Riley Kumalan brings us the weekend weather forecast.
We'll have all of those stories and much more, so stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
While most of you were out catching rays by the swimming pool this summer, a few Homestead radio students were given the unique opportunity to interview members of musical groups throughout the Midwest all summer long. Here's reporter Kaylee Behrens with the story.
This summer, a few of the HHS radio students interviewed local bands on the school's radio station, the Point 91 FM.
Throughout the summer, me and a couple of the students came in to interview some bands. Most of them were local, and we just kind of talked about them, about how they became artists and like their inspirations, and it was super cool to meet them.
So the bands that come into our station are being interviewed by the students, and they come in for a promo, or they might have a show around here. They usually go to this bar downtown called the Brass Rail, and so they come in and are interviewed by students, and Dunn usually sets that up for all the students, and it's really fun because you listen to the music on the station, then you get to meet the actual artists of the music, and it's really awesome, and most of them are local, so you get a lot more experience and culture for the Fort Wayne scene on the music.
The students got the opportunity to interview these bands because they are involved in the radio program here at Homestead.
I stayed after school one day and I was just kind of hanging around because I had nothing to do, and Mr. Dunn asked me if I wanted to interview a band. So I interviewed this guy named Dwayne Farron, and at the time I gave him an interview, and then we did another segment called the 5-minute refrain.
I had the opportunity to interview multiple bands because I have a radio show on Wednesdays called Shoeless with Sydney, so we kind of started that, and then from that we kind of got closer to Mr. Dunn, and he came to us for certain things. We went to him, and we just got connections that way with all the bands and got to interview them.
Each student had different parts that they liked about this experience and different artists that they enjoyed interviewing.
My favorite part about doing it is definitely getting to see the artists, because it's one thing to listen to them, but seeing them in person and getting to talk to them about their style and how they came into music and all that stuff is so interesting, and it's just really awesome. And probably my favorite one would have to be either Microwave Miracles, because it was my first one, or Corey Dane, which is my last one that I just did, because he was so awesome. I really, really love all of his music, and so getting to see him, everyone's super chill whenever we do it. All the artists are just happy to be here, and so it's so awesome to get to experience.
One of my favorites was Corey Dane. He came and Reagan Jones interviewed him, and I helped film it and set it up.
If you want this great opportunity to interview local bands or have a radio show of your own, contact Mr. Dunn in room 600B. For HHS In Depth, I'm Kaylee Behrens.
Lost and found items are located on the tables outside the discipline office in the main hallway of the 1012 building. Please stop by and claim your items as soon as possible.
Juniors and seniors and admissions rep from the following colleges will be visiting Homestead. If you would like to attend the meeting, please sign up at Student Services at least one day prior to the visit. You must have the signed green pass in order to attend the visit. On Monday, September 25th, The Ohio State University. Tuesday, September 26th, Cedarville, Spring Arbor, and Evangel Universities. Wednesday, September 27th, Valparaiso and Trine Universities. On Thursday, September 28th, the University of Cincinnati, University of Southern California, and IPFW. And on Friday, September 29th, the University of Denver.
SAD, which stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions, will be having their call-up meeting next Wednesday after school in room 932 until 3 p.m. Go find out how you could help make Homestead a more positive environment this year. Snacks will be provided.
The Drama and Improv Club will meet next week after school on Tuesday, September 26th in room 904.
The Foreign Language Department's after-school club, the Spanish Club, is off and running this year. Recently, reporter Carson Clymer got out to a meeting at this club to see what it's all about. Here's the story.
One of the most popular after-school clubs at Homestead, the Spanish Club, a student-led organization, is excited for all that they have planned for this year.
This year we really hope to get a lot of really big member turnout at all our events because last year we did have a lot of people at the Community Harvest Food Bank, and this year we have a lot of members that show interest, so if we could really get a lot of members there and participate, and we could really help the community out. And then also we haven't been able to do the Chicago trip for a couple of years, so this year if we could get it done, there's a lot of factors that play into it, but if we could get it done, that'd be really great for the club.
What may be surprising to some is that Spanish Club is available for people not in a Spanish class to join.
Probably one of the questions we get the most is, well, who can join Spanish Club? And it's open to anyone. We have students who are in Spanish classes who are in the club, but we also have students who are not in Spanish classes that also participate in the club because they want to learn more about the culture, or they want to get some more exposure to the language, or they want to take part in some of the activities we do. So the club is open to anybody, freshmen through seniors. The only thing we require is there's a permission form, and it's $5 dues for the year, and that's it, but anybody can join.
I would encourage that everybody join Spanish Club who's at least interested in Spanish-speaking culture. When I first joined, I thought that it was all about like speaking Spanish, and at first it was a little intimidating, but I think that the thing to remember about Spanish Club is that the most important thing is like it's the culture, it's the food, it's the interactions.
In Spanish Club, students get to help out the community as they travel to the Community Harvest Food Bank once every year.
The Community Harvest Food Bank is kind of like our big service project. We all get together, and the whole club, we all go to the food bank and we volunteer there for a couple hours, and last year it really went out pretty good, and this year there's even more room for improvement.
The officers and senior peeper are very excited for all the new activities that they have planned for this year.
I think a couple of the changes that the officers are maybe planning to make this year is we weren't able to go to Chicago last year, it just didn't work out, and I think they would like to bring that trip back, that spring trip back. And they also had the idea of making a weekend trip to Pokagon sometime this winter when there's snow on the ground to take advantage of some of the bobsledding you can do at the state park. So those are two of the big changes that I've heard them talk about, which hopefully will come together because I think the students would enjoy both going to Chicago again and maybe trying something new by going to Pokagon for the first time.
Make sure to come out to the next Spanish Club meeting, Tuesday, October 3rd, where they will be talking about their new t-shirt design and their trip to the Community Harvest Food Bank. For HHS In Depth, I'm Carson Clymer.
The Homestead Fishing Club will meet next week after school on Wednesday, September 27th in room 904.
YEF will have a call-up meeting on Monday, September 25th after school in room 718 at 2:40. This group is a conservative-leaning group that discusses politics, government, and how to get involved in your community. All are welcome regardless of your political beliefs, and they will have free pocket constitutions for those who attend on Monday.
Anyone interested in joining Biomedical Science Club, please turn in your membership forms from the previous meeting to Mrs. Behrens in room 215 as soon as possible. Our first guest speaker is scheduled for our next meeting on Wednesday, October 11th. If you are in need of membership, see Mrs. Behrens.
Interested in politics and discussion? Young Progressive meets today from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 614. This week they'll be discussing mass incarceration. Everyone is welcome to attend.
The Homestead Tennis Club will be on the courts this Sunday, September 24th at the main Homestead Tennis Courts from 3 to 4 p.m. and their next in-house meeting is in Mrs. Merkling's room 206, next Tuesday, September 26th. Refreshments will be served, so don't miss your chance to make a racket with Homestead's Tennis Club.
FCCLA is a club here at Homestead that helps students become leaders in both our school and our community. To learn more about it and what they do, here's reporter Serena Lauria.
FCCLA is a club at Homestead that provides personal growth, leadership development, and career preparation opportunities for students in family and consumer science education.
FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It is an organization run by officers, members, and teachers. The club goes more in depth with what we learned in the classroom, and we end up helping Homestead High School and our community.
There are many opportunities to help the community through the activities organized by the club officers.
We do a lot of activities in FCCLA. Last year we made blankets for cancer patients, we made dog treats to be able to donate, and we do a lot of stuff to help out. We even went down to the preschool and we read to them and created a lesson plan, and it was just, we do a lot of new stuff, and we're planning on doing a lot this year too.
One other big activity that we did in FCCLA would be our coffee bar fundraiser. And this year we are having more options for Pop-Tarts, and we're also planning on having a couple other special items. So we look forward to seeing you at the coffee bar.
Along with the school-wide activities you do in the club, you can also participate in nationally ranked competitions.
Star events are basically like projects that you do throughout the year, and we mostly focus on it second semester because that's when the competition is, but there are a lot of different events that you can choose from. Like there's interior design, advocacy, environmental ambassador, and there's like cooking categories as well. So there's like a wide variety of categories you can choose from, and then you build your project throughout the year based on the requirements that are listed.
FCCLA meets every other Tuesday, so if you're interested, come join. You can get information about the club from room 102. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Serena Lalaria.
And now here's Riley Kumala with a look at the weekend weather forecast.
Salutations, Homestead. It's Riley Kumala here, and it's time for your weekend weather forecast. I have absolutely no idea what has gotten into Mother Nature, but this weekend is going to be an absolute scorcher. I'll give you a nickel if you can find a cloud today, as we're looking at a beautiful sunny day today with a high of 87 and a low of 62. So it will be a perfect football weather at Northside tonight. Tomorrow we'll continue the trend of July weather once again with sunny skies with a high of 87 and a low of 59. And finally, Sunday will continue the blazing temperatures once again with sunny skies with a high of 86 and a low of 60. That concludes this weekend weather forecast. I'm Riley Kumala. Have a wonderful weekend, Homestead.
And now Garrett Willis heads over to his set of the 2-minute drill. This week he'll profile our boys cross-country team.
All right, Garrett, how's your feature going this week?
It's pretty good. We're doing volleyball right now. It's pretty interesting.
All right, keep up the good work.
Sounds good. He bought it. Getting pretty tough coming up with new excuses. My 9th fake day this semester. Want to go for 10? Probably gonna have to do something really stupid like smash a computer. So I better make this one count. Now, how can anybody work on a day like this? The key to faking out Schenkel is the excessive clicking. It's a big non-specific reason. Big believer in it. A lot of people will say that technology issues are a deadlock, but you get a nervous teacher, you end up down in the IMC, even worse than working. You bang your head on the desk because if you're in frustration, you punch the computer screen. Yes, I know, it's childish and stupid, but then again, so is high school. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around every once in a while, you can miss it. Hello, Homestead. I'm Garrett Wilson. It's time for the 2-minute drill. As all of you know, I love sports, and athletes are some of the people that I respect the most. But there's one group here at Homestead that I admire overall, because that's the one I'm featuring today. Because frankly, if I had to run 5 or 6 miles after school every day, I would just die. I have no idea how these people torture themselves the way they do, but they have a skill that I would never hope to acquire in endurance running. So Homestead, we're off to the races. Here's this week's feature on your boys cross-country team.
The boys cross-country team is off and running here in September, as everyone on the team has been excited about the group's performance so far.
Season's been awesome. Really proud of what these guys have been doing. They have exceeded my expectations so far, and it's been really fun to watch them grow as a team and see what they might do next.
Had a lot of younger guys coming forward, stepping up to the plate, making really good times in the season that we've needed to get to this point in the season.
So far it's been really great so far. It looks like we're going to make it to state, which we weren't sure if we were going to be there at the beginning of the season.
Even though there are several senior leaders on the team, all the runners, including underclassmen, have seen a great improvement in performance this year.
We've had a great improvement in the younger guys. A lot of the underclassmen stepping up, taking some of those varsity spots away from us upperclassmen. But we've been fighting back, but definitely the strength of our team comes to that sophomore, junior class. I mean, I guess you could look at rankings and a couple of the different polls. We started off at like 40 or 43rd, and we've moved up to 21. Has been the highest we've been ranked so far. So to knock that off in half, I think it's a real testament to the hard work that they've been putting into the season.
With the past few years having resulted in early postseason exits, the team is hoping this is the year the trend is bucked.
End goal is just to make it to state. We've always wanted to go to state, And I think this year is the year that we're going to do it because we have a lot of young potential and we're going to make it this year.
We definitely want to get to state. When we went to camp in July, it was one of the things that was kind of a common theme as we went around and we talked about goals. Not just to get to the state meet, but maybe what do we want to do at the state meet?
While all the members on the team are extremely talented in distance running, they all have their moments when they just eat dirt.
Hardest faceplant, probably Jackson McLean, because he was on his bike and he ate it.
Would definitely have to be Walker. Walker just totally tumbled over at West Noble.
Walker Carroll, last week, West Noble, first turn of the race.
The boys cross country team is back in action again this weekend as they will be traveling to IPFW along with the girls team to run in the Fort Wayne Invitational.
Your Spartan football team is in action tonight as they will be taking on the Northside Legends on the road. As usual, gates will open at 6 o'clock with the game starting at 7. Also, good luck to the boys soccer team tonight as they travel down to Carmel and Concord on Saturday, along with the boys tennis team tomorrow at the Center Grove Classic. Both cross-country teams at Fort Wayne, volleyball at Greenfield Central, and the girls golf team at the regional at East Noble, and the girls soccer team at home against Goshen. Your quote of the week comes from Tony Dungy, as he said, "The secret to success is good leadership, and good leadership is all about making the lives of your teammates and your workers better." That'll do it for this week's edition of the 2-Minute Drill. I'm Garrett Willis. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next Friday. Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Garrett Willis.
And I'm Ellie Davis. Thank you for watching today.
And now here are this week's Pictures of the Week.
To have your photo in the running for Picture of the Week, just email us a high-resolution photo in landscape mode with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.
When my personal demons are screaming, and when my door of madness is half open, stand alongside, say something to the effect